Here we are in Dunamis in a GDTV show. I talk about marriage and marriage related trending issues, and my name is Judith. Friends, the trending one is Alabaye's, Elabaye's father, that really disfigured that girl, all in the name that is trying to discipline her or whatever reason he gave. I say that because this is always the aftermath of a broken home. So that before you get married, you pray to God to guide you so that you don't fall into the hands of such a man or such a woman. Because to be honest, I do not see any reason why that man should treat that girl like that. Friends, let's go through what he gave as his reasons why he did that to his daughter. Because I saw a video of what's the name of this guy? That was where I watched and then heard all the man said and all that. First of all, he said that in fact everything revolves around the money that girl won. That he was the one that encouraged her when she told him that he wanted to go and be part of the BB Niger. I think the first time, so he encouraged her even though she lost that first time, and then the second time he also encouraged her, and then she now went in, that he gathered his friends and used his influence, I don't know to what extent, to get her to win. That eventually when she now won and then they got the money and everything, that she now changed. That it took him like 5 6 times before she could respond to his calls, because she's now living alone, and then that he told her that he wanted to go to Dubai for a medical checkup or something, and then the girl said she doesn't have money. But that he was now surprised that he saw her spraying money at cross wedding, bundles of money. That what else did he even say? That um, she what else did she say? That she's into substance. Yes, I think that's the major one. Or that she has even introduced her brothers or one of her brothers into the substance and everything. So the man gave that as his reasons, and people are clapping for this man. People are buying into that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys accepting this thing that this man said? First of all, what the man said didn't add up at all. First of all, he said he took her through to go to a very good school and what have you, that she's his favorite child, and so on and so forth. By the way, the man and his wife are no longer together. Okay. They've been married for 32 years, but the first child, that is this Ilebaye, I want to believe, is 24. So maybe they did start having children on time or so. And then she has two siblings, two boys. One I think is 14, the other 10. I stand to be corrected, but I think that's what I saw on that video that I watched over the incident. Then the same beating has been going on with the mom, the man beating the woman. Now, that is his wife. The woman left him for the first time. Friends and family members intervened, pleaded, and everything, reconciled them, and then the woman came back. But the man continued. The woman now left, apparently she's now, I don't know whether she's in the same city, but she's now on her own. So when they now divorced, I don't know who filed for divorce, whether it was the man or herself, but the court now favored the man and then granted him custody of the two boys, that is now 14 and 10, right? So the woman now apparently left and was just on her own or something like that. And so this girl now was living alone. She was to mark her 24th birthday, according to stories, in that particular video. I'm just saying what I heard in that because nobody had heard from the girl, her own side of the story. And they just took her to hospital, and we pray she becomes stable and get better. And then if she wants, she can now tell her story. But if she doesn't want, she can take a decision. So the girl now said her brothers, apparently called her and told her that they're not fine or whatever, maybe they needed one or two things. And because her birthday was forthcoming, so she had gone there probably to like, take them out or whatever. I don't know what plans, but she went to her father's house where the beating took place. So we look at it this way. The man said that when the girl now got the money, that if he now calls her, that the girl doesn't respond to his calls, it takes like 5 or 6 times before he could get her attention. In fact, somebody, when I was discussing, a colleague of mine was like, me, my daughter, that is a medical student, how will I come and do her like that? Are you sure maybe the man doesn't want to have an immoral affair with the girl and the girl refuses. Otherwise, the beating and what the man is claiming that, the beating was just too much for what the man is saying, and that he doesn't believe that what the man is saying is true. So, however, the man now said that, he to get access to the girl, became a problem because, she has already made the money. They have given her the money and everything, and then he now wanted her to bring some money so that they can host his friends that, voted for her and everything. And the girl now said no. I'll just be taking so I don't forget one or two things that I said. Olga, let me ask you, was it only your friends that voted for this girl? There were other people, Nigerians voted for her. So if you host your friends, okay, if she should get money and host your friends, what about the other people that voted for her? You said in that the video that I watched that you own a hotel. Either you said the girl is claiming the hotel, but the hotel belongs to you. So if you own a hotel and I think you're an honorable, that means you're making money. So you could not hold your friends that, answered your call when you call them, because I want to believe that when they also call you, maybe any of their child is doing some, maybe a wedding or something, you also respond. So it's like a committee of friends something. Or are you telling me that if that your daughter gets married now and then you get your friends to now be part of the wedding, maybe they became a should be men or something, then at the end of the day the girl and her husband will come and hold a party to thank your friends specially for wearing a shebi or whatever. That's what I don't understand. Because if you are the one that invited your friends, now if you want to appreciate your friends, you can go ahead and do that. I am not saying that it is wrong if she decides to give anything, for you to now host your friend. That there's nothing wrong in that. But for you now to see it as a reason to give her this kind of a beating, that's the angle I'm looking at it. That reason is not it's not genuine enough, for the kind beating that you give to that girl. So aside that, he now said that he wants to go to, is it Dubai or wherever, for a medical checkup, and then he now asked the girl for money. She also said that she doesn't have money, but he was now surprised to see her, attend the cross wedding and was now spraying bundles of money. Okay, you have not been going to Dubai for medical checkup, right? Or if you have been going, who has been sponsoring you before this girl got this thing? But if you have not been going, so you are now living your life based on the money that this girl got. Okay, like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong in the girl, sponsoring that and all that, as a kind of saying thank you to you. But what I'm comparing is the kind of beating that this girl got and these things that you're claiming. Okay, you are planning to go to Dubai as if we don't have hospitals here. You are claiming to be, because you have not been going to Dubai before. I stand to be corrected. Maybe you have been going. If you have been going, who has been sponsoring it? But if you have not been going, all of a sudden, because she won this money, you just wanted her to squander the money. That's why you are now going to Dubai for medical treatment. The person that is sick had the strength to beat a girl like that because one of her eyes was like closed. You don't see her eyes anymore. It was, the photos are all there. Even when the girl was screaming and saying help me, I need help and everything, the story has it that the man locked up everywhere and was still hitting her even when the girl was, and that is the man that is sick. So you find out that maybe everything revolves around this money that this girl won. Then the worst of it all is that he now said that the girl is into substance and that either she wants to introduce her brother to substance or she has already introduced her brother into substance. Oga, I stand to be corrected. Believe you me, you are lying. You know why I said you are lying? You have not brought out one proof to prove that this is true. Where is the photograph of probably where she's high with her friends, because when any person that takes drugs, when they are high, they take photographs, they can post anything. Where is the proof that she has she's trying to teach her brother, her younger brother, on how to be on substance or something? Where is the proof? Do you apologies to distinguished Senator Ned. When he accused his younger wife of the same thing, there were proofs. Photos were everywhere where this lady was taken. In fact, even thereafter, the way she started talking and everything, proofs were everywhere. Now, assuming it is even true that this girl is into substance at her age at 24, the only way you think of rescuing her, you didn't invite her. She said it was her brothers that called her. Okay, now the only way you can help her out is by this kind of a beating. How has this beating solved any problem? How? Because if after this beating, if she's really into this, she will go deeper into it. If you had even said, okay, you have arranged for a rehab for her and you want her to go there and she's refusing and everything, even at that, and I want to believe that whatever thing that transpired between you and your wife, who were not there, we don't know. I don't want to blame you because I don't know what happened. But if you genuinely know that, this girl is now trying to affect her younger ones or had already affected one, could you not have involved the mother, in this? Because the mother, that is the wife of the man, granted interview to Linda Ikeji and now said it is not true that Ilebaye is not on drugs, okay, that she doesn't take any substance, that it is not true. That as a matter of fact, when the police asked her to come and take the children, that she went and collected the children, barely 4 hours or some hours later, they called her and said she should return the children, that she was scared for her life for going to return the children because she knows that the man will be there. She was afraid of what the man would do there. So you know that this bullying has always been there. The man has always been bullying his family, because if you are beating your daughter or your wife and you lock up everywhere, then it's no longer a correction that you're making. We all have parents who slapped us and stabbed us and whatever. All that happened to each and every one of us. But when your father particularly comes to lock up everywhere, even when police came, it was difficult for them to gain entrance. And you are telling me that is correction. So, but my own is, where is the proof that this girl is into substance? Where is the proof? Because I think she won this in 2023. I stand to be corrected. I don't watch that, okay? But I think it was 2000 because the news was all over. If it is 2023, that means it's like 3 years now. Okay. Now, I don't know when, the man alleged that she started taking substance. But let's assume that it's like maybe 1 year. Are you telling me that all the time that this girl is taking this thing, that there's no photograph, there's no proof whatsoever? So how did you cut her? How did you know that she takes that? And then your son that you said that she has introduced, her younger brother, where is the proof? What evidence do you have to accuse her that she has done that to her younger brother? No evidence. But you find out that you are talking about being into substance. You're also talking about her giving you money. So everything revolves around money. It's not all about this substance, it's all about money. If she had given you money now to host your friends to a party, big party, as the honorable head, so that you show off that you are the father of Ilebaye, or she had given you money to go to Dubai for your treatment, will you be talking about substance? Will this substance issue come up? Because she has refused to give you money. That's why this substance issue came up. And maybe she has looked at the way you treated the mother and everything. So she decided to, like, shut you out of whatever fortune she got. Even though I'm not supporting that as a father, right? At her age, well, she's young, but she's not that too young. She can also talk to both of you to see how you come back. But if you are the kind of person that has been beating her mother like this, and she has seen it over times, then I don't expect her to want her mother to come back to you so that it will kill her. If you can do this to this your biological daughter with these flimsy excuses that you're giving, to be honest, you deserve you deserve much more punishment than this. And I ask you again, Sir Elabaye, if at the time you were hitting that girl with all the strength in you, if that girl has slumped there and died, what would you have told yourself? How would you have done it? You will now go and claim the money. Because it looks as if everything is revolving around the money. This girl was crying, help me, help me. You shut the doors, shut the windows and everywhere, and you were hitting her so hard. Even when she was saying, help me, help me, help me. You were not saying anything. Stop taking drugs. I've told you to stop. Nothing. And it's this man that accused his younger wife. He said it. He was just saying it. Everybody was there. And before we know it, photos started flying all over the place so that people know that what the man is saying is true. But your own, there's no evidence whatsoever. You were just hitting her as in all over because she didn't give you money, because she's taking substance. Okay, if it is that substance, I keep on asking, if it is that substance, Oga, how has this beating, or how would this beating be a solution to it? Just how would this beating? You are not talking of taking her to a rehab. How is this beating going to be? I just pray that I don't know which people that are to take over this, to handle this, because this shouldn't be. Because there's a kind of a beating or a treatment a girl will get from her father, who is the first man she's having in contact with as a man in her life. It becomes difficult for her to trust any man, even her own husband. What do you think you have done to this girl? Just what? And on top the beating that you beat her, that is it even beating? It's more, what is more than beating? On top of that, you are now lying on her head. The reason why I say it's lies because there's no evidence. There's no evidence that this girl is taking it. And then you can't be talking of taking substance and you're talking of money to sponsor you to Dubai. They are two different things. So is it all about the money now or all about the substance? Because if it's all about the substance, there's no evidence. And then if you're talking about the money, like I said, yes, I agree she's supposed to do one or two things, but we've not heard from her. We don't know why, she was not free to like, help you out or give you money to go to, what is it, Dubai for a treatment. And if you have not been going to Dubai for treatment, so you are now planning on a trip that consume more money from her, whatever. If there, because I want to believe that if you go for your checkups here in Nigeria, then that means you have a doctor that can attend to you here. Except if it's that doctor that now prescribed that and said that you should go, recommended that you should go to Dubai for a better treatment or something. It is also a possibility. But what I'm saying is that assuming that is true, this way that you handle this thing, is it going to bring out anything from this girl? It has only created a deep gap between you and this girl. I don't know because the mother from the interview that she granted to Linda, she didn't mention about the health challenge. I don't know whether that is true or not, but the only one I know that she mentioned was where she was saying that it is not true that Ilebaye doesn't take any drug. She's not into any substance and everything. In fact, that when she wanted to go to the house, the mother said she told her not to go, that place is not safe for her. So that means you are becoming a terror to your family. However, like I said, if it is true that that is it, what about some parents that will say, okay, since you don't want to help me, I leave you to God. I leave you to God. They hear parents where they do like that. So this kind of beating now, if that girl has slumped and died, what would have happened? What would have happened? And let me shock you, Sai Lebaye, with due respect. You see those two boys that were watching you as you were doing that? You did it to their mother because they were still minors. They kept quiet. You did it to their elder sister now, and they're still looking at you. By the time those two boys will grow, Mr. Lebaye, they will give it to you. You wouldn't like the way they will handle you. You will not. Because by the time they remember, the memories of what you have done, when you were beating their mother and everything, they always seen it. They might not challenge you because they fear for their own lives, and then they are still minors. They can't challenge you at their age. And then now you did it to their sister. They beat him. My own is, why would you not lock the door to the extent that when police came, they couldn't get entrance? Why would you not lock the door? If you're correcting your child, why would you lock their door? Like I said, all of us, we grew up under parents, caring parents like that. When your father is the first of all, they say, bring out your right hand. You bring it. They'll give you three like this. I say, bring out the left one. You bring it. Give you three like that. Before you will be doing hand like this and be doing like that. Daddy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. I beg. I won't do it again. I mean, everybody's seeing it. Your mother is even begging on your behalf. But this one, you're hitting this girl. So, did you see her face? And you tell me you're correcting her? What kind of a correction? Did anybody correct you the way you drove your wife? Because if you're treating the woman well, she wouldn't have left. If she left the first time after 32 years and came back, that means she lost her family. But the way you treated her, you continued. That was why she left. So did anybody beat you over that? Did anybody beat you for you now to be beating this girl? For people that are saying that, Lebaye, if I were the person, the man, I would have done that. Until you hear from the girl. Let's hear from the two sides, okay? Even me that is talking, let's hear from if I hear from Ilebaye and then what the father said is true, I'll come out here and then say the same thing. I'll say that one. But if it is not true, because I didn't see any evidence, you can't accuse somebody of taking substance without, okay? When this guy's wife was taking substance and all that, we saw her because she appeared on one talk show like that, the way she was talking incoherently and everything. And at the end of the day, Tiwa and Toke helped her to check into rehab in Aba and Nyaba. So I mean, evidence is so. But this one now, instead of as a father, seeing your lovely daughter going the wrong way, instead of you to now organize to go to rehab, that is if it is true, you decided to take laws into your hands and to destroy her like this, because this is destruction. Look at her face before that girl will recover. Thank God that friends, now came around because of that video that she made. I think it was the mother that said, "Okay, go live," and that was what saved her. Otherwise, that man would have been beating her until the girl by there. By the time friends now started calling and all that, and all that was man then now start. So why did you now stop? Because you're afraid of the people will see what you're doing. Why did you now stop? When they took you to police station, why did you now stop? Anyways, um I'm not happy about that, to be honest. I'm not just a girl that is 24. She's just going to Maka. You should know that it's a small girl. Forget about the fact that she made that kind of a money and all that, but she's still a small girl. For you to give her this kind of a beating and all that, so that if you want the best from her, then let her see you love her mother. Let her see you love her mother. That way she will trust you. But not when you maltreat her mother and then you expect the best from her. Except if they say any other thing, like that my colleague said, if there's any other thing that has to do with incest, because I don't understand where this kind of a beating will be coming from. You talk of money, sponsoring this, and then you talk of a substance. How to Friends, I saw that. I say, let me just react to that. Please leave your comment at the comment section. Let's further the conversation there, okay? What do you think? Do you believe the man? Do you think that girl deserves that kind of a beating for the reasons that that man is giving? Leave your thoughts at the comment section. Let's further the conversation there, okay? I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so very much, dear friends, for always watching my videos. Please watch this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now, dear friends.